you're traveling around with Air Force One and Air Force Two all these years. What is sort of the go-to story you'll tell people that you know, something you like typed out or something you recorded that you're like, I can prove this to you if I really wanted to? What's sort of like the craziest thing you tell people you witnessed in your on duty?
Well, that's a really good question, especially now because I just came across something. So we took a trip to Iraq, Afghanistan, and Pakistan with Cheney in 2005. It was kind of a secretive trip. And at the time, it seemed like just, wow, this is really interesting trip. CNN was there. Danish Bash was CNN. Fox News, James Rosen, AP was there, a couple other people. ABC News was there. It was a big deal that we're going to these, we're basically going in the war zone. Well, what I found out recently is I was moving and I was going through some old paperwork that I had left over from it. It was basically a press kit from the Pakistan leg. Well, when we were in Pakistan, Cheney went to a meeting with then President Musharraf, who was kind of a CIA-backed American guy in charge of Pakistan. And then he took this helicopter tour up into the mountains to look at a big project there by USAID to help with earthquake relief. Well, part of that, so they gave me, in this press kit, there was a map of this travel. The map showed that we took a helicopter flight right over Abbottabad, which is where they killed Osama Bin Laden 5 years later. Why is Dick Cheney flying a helicopter over Abbottabad in 2005? It was December 2005, late 2005. Why is Dick Cheney doing that? He never did that. Why was he doing that? Why was he there? So I started digging a little bit, and I found a CIA website. It was like a legacy, our story of the raid for Osama bin Laden. And they had surveillance photos of the compound, the site of the compound on that website from 2004 and 2005 as they were building the compound building. And so then they showed the eventual compound with the walls and everything that we saw in the media presentation of the SEAL raid. So I was at CPAC and I talked to Robert O'Neill, who's the SEAL team guy that killed bin Laden. And I told him about this. He's like, whoa, that's some heavy crap. And he's never gotten back to me about it. I said, you've got a podcast, have me on a podcast. He's never done that. He's never connected with me. One of the things that happened on that trip was Dana Bash did an interview with Dick Cheney at this earthquake relief area. It was basically a MASH unit, mobile army surgical hospital up in the hills. And she did an interview with Dick Cheney there. And part of the interview, and I found the transcript that I was there on that trip to do. I did the transcript of it, recorded it, and typed it on the Bush White House website. She asked him, there's rumors, there's information that Osama bin Laden may be in Pakistan. Do you have anything to say about that? He goes, Dana, I can't answer that question. Usually he would say, he didn't say yes, and he didn't say no. He said, I can't answer that question. That to me says, knowing Cheney as I know him, that he didn't want to lie to her. He was pretty good about not lying to the press. If he had said no, we don't know where he is, that would have been a lie. If he said yes, he would have been giving away critical information. I can't answer that question was his answer. At the time, her husband, Jeremy Bash, was an intelligence operative. She was married to him in 2005. She divorced him in 2007. In 2011, when Osama bin Laden was killed in Abbottabad, Jeremy Bash was the CIA chief of staff right under Panetta. So I don't know what connection he had to where bin Laden was at the time, but Jeremy Bash and Dana Bash sound to me like they knew that the CIA had Osama bin Laden on ice. They they had him or the Pakistanis had him, and Cheney was over there just to make sure this is what's going on and this is what we want. And
so they knew that they were building the facility for Osama, or he was already there?
I think he was there. I think when Cheney flew over, he was there.